You're yummy, eh? Do you think you can be a big boy? Hey, keep your feet off the dog. How many times do you
My
use
teaching
TikTok?
philosophy is based on the belief that all children have the potential to learn, and they deserve to do so in a safe, respectful and caring environment. I believe that children come to school willing and hungry for learning, and that my role within the classroom is to facilitate learning that is both meaningful and engaging. I am of the opinion that teachers touch the lives of their students in their care in a number of ways, and that it is our duty to ensure that the experience is positive. As a dedicated beginning teacher, I will endeavour to provide quality teaching by providing rich contexts for my students to learn in that are meaningful to their lives, have high expectations of students in behaviour and learning, and encouraging them to reach their full potential by providing the tools to help them achieve success in their learning. Use assessment as a tool to reflect on for future teaching and learning, and so I can cater for individual learning needs. Create an environment where students can take risks and see this as an opportunity for learning. Foster an equitable learning environment where children's social, cultural, and learning needs are paramount. Build positive relationships with my students, their family and whānau, based on the fundamental principle of respect. Hold myself accountable for my own performance and continuing to improve my practice through professional development. I believe that quality teaching is not directive, but is facilitation of quality learning. Some of the teaching that I have observed where the students were most engaged is where students were inquiring into subjects that were relevant to their lives or presented in an engaging way. By knowing children, getting to know them, rich context can be created where learning is both meaningful and engaging. It is my opinion that all children come to school with different needs, but that they all have the capacity to learn and progress. It is the role of the teacher to assess the learning needs of everyone in the class and plan and teach according to those needs. High expectations should be made clear and should be achievable. Part of meeting these expectations is being scaffolded through the steps required to achieve them. Having high expectations is one of the principles in the New Zealand curriculum, empowering children to learn and achieve personal excellence regardless of their individual circumstances. I am a lifelong learner and embrace the fact that teaching will be constantly evolving. Part of the ongoing change to my practice will be the result of assessing and reflecting on my own teaching, which I believe will be beneficial to the learning needs of my students. Ongoing assessment of students' understanding and progress will enable me to adjust my teaching to meet the individual needs of my students. Formative assessment is an essential feature of classroom work, and that development of it can raise standards. For me, one of the important parts of assessment is the formative feedback that students receive, and I will endeavour to make this pertinent and with a view to future learning. An environment where students take risks is an environment where children do not fear failure. I know from personal experience that risk-taking is daunting, especially in a new and unfamiliar environment. I also know, however, that learning from mistakes I understand and comprehend more. I think that a teacher's role in encouraging students to be risk-takers is to understand that students will sometimes be daunted by challenging tasks and are prepared to scaffold them through it, and that by doing so, allow children to become competent learners. A classroom with a culture of safety to me is one that allows children to come as they are and to feel safe to do so. Children are all individuals and come with their own baggage. By appreciating the different social and cultural values that children bring with them, I believe that you are modelling acceptance and showing that you care about who they are. By getting to know children, you can align teaching with their needs and interests. What you teach and how you teach plays an integral role in developing the ability to teach to them. I believe that respect plays an important role in developing relationships. Respect for children as individuals, as members of a group, and as learners is fundamental to a positive student-teacher relationship. Students are more likely to respect teachers when they receive respect from their teachers. A child's home environment has much more influence on a child's academic achievement than the school environment does. By building positive relationships with family and whānau of my students, I will be fostering communication where students' learning can be discussed and hopefully promoted at home. In order to improve my pedagogical practice, I need to ensure that my understanding of children's learning and curriculum knowledge is constantly being developed, so it remains current and relevant. By doing this, my students will receive quality teaching, and I will continue to gain an understanding of how they learn best. Professional learning experiences that focus on the links between particular teaching activities and valued student outcomes are associated with positive impacts on those outcomes. In other words, it is of equal value to myself as a professional as well as my students' learning achievements that I am accountable for myself as a lifelong learner. Through my experience to date, I have come to appreciate that teaching is a vastly rewarding profession. I am a lifelong learner and will strive to continuously develop and improve as a teacher. At the end of the day, I am doing it for the children, to experience firsthand their joy of new connections being formed. I will continue to work hard to be the best teacher that I can be for them. Thank you for watching my presentation.